Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're tackling something that almost all of us are going to face at some point, yet honestly, very few of us actually know how to handle it without having a complete crisis of confidence. I'm talking about the heavy emotional weight of a career transition. Specifically, we're going to draw from some very real-world experiences of leaving fostering and social care to figure out exactly how to mentally and emotionally reframe that absolutely terrifying feeling of starting completely over.
So, I want to ask you, have you ever felt like you're just starting completely from scratch? If you're navigating a major change right now, this speaks directly to that terrifying moment when a big shift, like, say, facing redeployment, makes you question your entire direction. It makes you question your confidence and, honestly, your ultimate value in the professional world. Because at first glance, when you're staring down a brand new path, it can really feel like all your past hard work has just evaporated. Poof, gone. You're back at square one. And the thing is, when you spend years in one specific profession, your work inevitably becomes totally fused with your identity. You become known for this very specialized knowledge. So when change hits, even if it's actually a really positive change, it shakes your foundation way more than people realize. But as we're going to see today, that feeling of losing your foundation, it's actually just a massive illusion. Section 1, the shock of uncertainty. Moving right along to Section 2, the trap of the gap. Okay, so when we face these huge career shifts, we often suffer from this immediate, totally overwhelming condition that I like to call job description amnesia. We hyper-focus on the gap, right? We look at these new job descriptions for, say, adult social care roles, and we immediately fixate on the new legislation we don't know yet, or these unfamiliar CRM systems that, let's be real, look like someone spilled alphabet soup all over the page. It's literally like trying to read an alien language. But here is the catch. By fixating entirely on that gap, on what we lack, we completely forget our foundation. We let these temporary things that we just don't know yet completely overshadow the massive, massive reservoir of expertise that we already bring to the table. Which brings us to Section 3, discovering transferable skills. This right here is where the cognitive reframe really kicks into gear. Because as you're preparing for interviews, or you sit down to update that redeployment profile, a pretty powerful revelation is going to hit you. You are absolutely not starting from zero. No way. In social care and fostering, you do these highly specific daily tasks, right? You're supporting carers, you're safeguarding vulnerable people, you're writing incredibly complex professional reports. Now, in isolation, sure, those sound hyper-specific to just one job, but they really aren't. Think about it. Supporting vulnerable people, that translates directly into high-level emotional intelligence. Managing complex risk is basically highly sought-after crisis management. And leading those incredibly difficult conversations, that is advanced conflict resolution right there. You see, you aren't losing your skills at all. You're just learning to speak a new language. Section 4, skills without borders. I really want you to think of your skills like luggage. Seriously, they're luggage that travels with you, and they evolve far beyond the strict confines of any single job title or specific department. So many people drastically underestimate themselves because they only look at their capabilities through the super narrow lens of their current role. But look at this transferable toolkit: communication, leadership, emotional intelligence, problem solving, facilitation, relationship building. This stuff holds massive, undeniable value. It honestly doesn't matter if you're stepping into a totally different profession or moving up into leadership, branching out into consultancy, or even starting your own business. The vehicle might change, sure, but the engine, those core skills of yours, remains perfectly intact and incredibly powerful. Changing direction does not erase your experience. I really want that to sink in for a second. This is the ultimate cognitive reframe. The absolute hardest part of a career transition isn't learning a new software system. It's not reading up on fresh legislation. The hardest part is actually learning to recognize your own worth differently. It's about shedding the old job title while keeping all of that hard-earned wisdom. And that leads us to Section 5, the new starting line. Redeployment, career change, reinvention, none of this means you failed. It is not a step backward. Actually, scratch that. It's not a step backward at all. It's simply an invitation to look at the strengths you've spent years, maybe even decades building from a totally fresh, dynamic perspective. You are not starting over. You are starting from experience. Even if you're still figuring things out right now, still adapting, still growing into whatever the next version of your career is going to be, remember this: you are stepping into this new chapter armed with a rich, tested foundation. You aren't some amateur learning the ropes. You are a seasoned professional applying your expertise in a brand new arena.
And that shift in mindset, that is exactly where true confidence begins again.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder today. How will you use your experience next? Because the skills you already carry in your toolkit might be far more valuable and adaptable than you ever realized. The foundation is already built. The only question left is, where are you going to take it from here?